that makes sense. Okay, so we'll do Sage. Sage, I hardly have words for too, though, so it'll be quick-ish. It is. This poor Corpicur. It's just vibing, and like this Sage is like bullying it. Come on, man. Like, I don't know, man. Caster's looking kind of litty. It's looking kind of good. So Sage, I looked into the tooltips that got translated. Dude, also they work really freaking fast. Thank you guys over in the Reddit Discord to translating those and finding those tooltips. You guys are monsters. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you guys look at the Discord Reddit, they actually managed to pull from the live letter, and they took the tooltips and translated those from Sage. And it looks very interesting to play. Because, like, this is like armchair. At this point, this is armchair. So let me tell you my, I guess, backtracking. My experience as Sage. It's cool. Ooh, ah. Gimme, gimme. Pew pew. I like to believe that all of its skills are very complementary of each other, right? There's this system that we don't know of per se yet, but it's kind of like a persistent synastry, sorry. That's essentially it, right? Like, so it's like Dancer, it's like Synastry, it's like, I guess, Fairy Tether, if we're stretching it. In my head, it really rewards good Sage play. But for those who still are on the boat of like, healers shouldn't DPS, read this class's tooltips. Read this class's tooltips and tell me that healers aren't supposed to DPS. It kind of like, it shakes up that part of the philosophy some people are still having, so it would like definitely make people start thinking out of the box. Not that thinking out of the box, but their own box, right? A lot of their attacks heal that designated target. And how else, other than like straight direct healing, you could just passively heal them. And with like a lot of what I seem to see in tanks toolkits, they could like already mitigate a lot of stuff themselves. So you have that synergy with the tank, your dungeon stuff, your raid stuff, it'll flow really nicely, that's what I think. So I can't unsee this anymore, and a couple of people call it PTSD, but like I still think of it a little bit fondly. So for those who know about this game called Elsword, it was the MMO before I was like super into before Final Fantasy XIV, and there's a character class in there that kind of has these drones, and they also fly like the way Sage gap close. So I think it's a cool touch. Like I don't harbor too many. I know a lot of people harbor some sort of dread and disdain for Elsword, but I kind of have a lot of good memories off of it. It's where I've met a lot of my good old friends. So it's a nice touch. It's a nice reminiscing thing. So that's all I gotta say for Sage. There's not much to say other than like, it looks cool. I want to play it. That's it. Okay, so we're going White Mage now. We're going into pure healer territory. White Mage. It's getting a little more extensive from here on, because as opposed to my experience back in Stormblood, most of my healing in Shadowbringers was mostly as regen healer. So here comes like the big chunky stuff, right? I didn't really prog much on White Mage, but my Reclear class, I guess. It's basically my Reclear class if I don't want to play Astro. So it's it was E1 to E. Wait, so it was like, actually it's the whole tier. Eden, all of Eden. I progged as a White Mage for UPalb at 5.3. 3? Yeah. So that's my experience as White Mage. Simple, as the devs say. 2 charges on Benison, I like, but I don't know how to maintain that just yet. I like to have it on cooldown. It's my meter of like, instead of like, oh, I have Dia running out. Oh, my Benison's coming off of cooldown. I guess I should Dia. I like it. We'll see how I play it in combat. I like Benison charges overall. Overall, I like it. I don't know how I'm gonna do with it, but I like it. A little disappointed with no expansion to the Blood Lily. Oh, that's one thing. So when watching the live letter, right, they said like all healers get 1.5 GCD. I'm a little iffy with that, right? I feel like they took a lot of Astro things and gave it to everyone else. It's kind of like what happened with tanks this expansion, right? Essentially, they took like the best parts of one class and then they kind of they sprinkled it for every heal. So giving it to White Mage, I feel like they have to change the potencies. All the potencies should be equal around the board, right? Like, I'm starting to realize like it's kind of disappointing in that way. You get rewarded for where you're placing as White Mage. Not to say that I'm like let me just say I'm not the best White Mage. Like look at I just unga bunga re-clear. I brute force with cure too. Like I'm not the best White Mage. So I'm just saying that it rewards good players for like positioning correctly. Yeah, like I just want to get through the raid, right? Like I just want everyone to live. I don't know. I still get a little bit worried because I don't want to be the one at fault for like a white. It's still been me for some reason. So the way that like they kind of took it away from White Mage kind of makes them more lax, I guess, because they always like the reason why the Lily system was created was for their own mobility, right? While they get rewarded for choosing when to use it. But like, what's the point if you could basically slide cast your way to the next mechanic, right? I guess you could say the same thing for Lightspeed, right? Why give Lightspeed to Astra if they can slide cast, right? So it's just kind of odd. I think they should expand on what you could do with the Lilies then. There's a couple of things you could... I'm like two thoughts. If they ever expand on the Lilies and they put like some sort of attack potency on the regular Lilies, that's just the same as Aetherflow, right? Well, not quite the same, but like energy drain kind of thing. That's where I'm at with the cast times, at least. And this is for like all the geeky Genshin people like me. I thought this totem was basically Kokomi's E. Which is kind of cute. I don't know if that's an Asylum upgrade or if it's a different one. So yeah, overall, White Mage simple upgrade. I don't know how Scholar's Ruin 2 is gonna work now because they basically have slide casting as well. That topic overall is kind of iffy to me. But anyway, I like White Mage's overall direction. I just hope that I don't know what they want to do with like this synergy with the cast times and the Lilies now. I guess. That's where I'm at with White Mage.